Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up that screen. Oh, Beamer. He's trolling the Vols. I can't believe it. Of all the coaches out there to troll the Vols, Beamer. Give me a break. We're going to talk about Pittsburgh as well. We're going to talk about some other stuff that happened this weekend. Let's get into it. All right, talks about Shane Beamer throws shade at Tennessee after the Georgia State victory. And he should be feeling awful good about getting that victory. That's a big win. It says the South Carolina football team head coach is now 1-0 after a victory with Georgia State. After the game, while doing a post-game interview with the SEC Network, Beamer seemingly trolled the Tennessee football program while he was complimenting Georgia State. He said that was a struggle out there. He said with his 35-14 victory over Georgia State, he said that's a good football team we just beat. We know there are some other SEC teams that have played these guys and aren't having the feeling that we have right now. He says while Tennessee fans don't need a reminder of that game or that era, Beamer was more certainly referring to Tennessee's season-opening loss to Georgia State in 2019, led by Pruitt, the coach which dare not speak its name. And I'm sure a lot of you remember this fella. Oh, there you go. He's so angry. Oh, a bunch of guys. Oh, my eyes. I had to see it. It was terrible. It was him again. Anyway, the coach, which dare not speak its name, who was leading us to that loss of 38-30 back in 2019, says at the end of the day, Beamer's implication of Tennessee and Georgia State is just a simple troll at the beginning of the season. The comment doesn't even have ties to the current Tennessee coaching staff or administration. Josh Heupel doesn't sweat that. Looks like he's just wanting to start some crap between the two teams. And let's start out with the fact that we beat the crap out of you last year. We drug South Carolina up and down the field like a rented mule and then put them up wet. So give me a break, Beamer. You got your butt whooped. What was it, like 35-7 in the first 12 minutes or something? I mean, it was ridiculous. And oh, nice attempt on the running back with the little throw. That worked out well for you. Actually, here's a little synopsis of how the game went last year for South Carolina.
And I will not be bullied by that.
Now, let's forget about South Carolina for a minute. We'll worry about them towards the end of the year when we whoop up on them. Next up, we got Pitt at 3:30. Fortunately, it's not at 7 o'clock like they played on Thursday. The crowd really helped them. They should have lost that game to West Virginia if not for a freak play where the West Virginia guy literally had the ball in his hands, popped out of his hands, and the guy ran back for a pick six for Pittsburgh and totally changed the game. Otherwise, West Virginia would have won that game. But the key to that game is we're going to have to put some pressure on Slovis because he will take sacks. He will also make mistakes. I think if we put enough pressure on him, he'll make a lot of mistakes. But if you let him sit back there, he's like any college quarterback. He's going to burn you up. You don't get to start for Pitt unless you can throw the ball well. So that's going to be critical. But he'll take sacks and he'll make mistakes if you put pressure on him. And I think we'll score on him without too much trouble. I see us scoring anywhere from 35 to 45 points on him. And we need to keep them in the low 30s or less, and that's going to be putting pressure on Slovis. This could end up being a real shootout, like a 48-45 if we don't, because if we do not put pressure on them, they're going to score on us. There's no question, and we'll score on them. And what they're going to try to do is put pressure on our quarterback, and what we've got to do is be ready for that and burn them hard. And I think we can do that pretty easily. Just pick up the blitzes and then hit them deep. And just hit them across the middle on some of those slants and throw some deep balls. And if there's one coach on this planet that can get you open in situations like that, it's Josh Heupel. We've seen him do it too many times. You blitz at your own peril. Just know that, Pittsburgh. Be ready for some quick strikes if you blitz, and I expect they will. Let's also talk about Florida. Now, Anthony Richardson played a real good game. He can hurt you with his arm, but he can really hurt you with his legs. And they're going to have to figure out something here in a few weeks to slow him down, and they'll probably have to put a spy on him. Definitely put one man on him because he's going to look to run, and he'll put 150 yards on you running and hurt you real bad and extend plays. So I can see one of our linebackers playing that role and really keeping an eye on him and not let him take off. And even if you spy him, he's still going to get some yards. You just might as well know that. He's got a good arm, not a fantastic arm, but a good one. I would much rather have Hendon Hooker, who makes better decisions and is more precise. But Richardson's going to be a problem, and he's going to keep him in the game, I think. Otherwise, without his legs, I think we'd whoop up on him pretty good. But it should be a very interesting game. Like I said, the question is, can we slow down Richardson? I don't think they're going to be able to stop us too well. I think we'll score our points. It's just a matter of what they do. And lastly, let's talk about that LSU game last night. Good grief. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like that. Then the way it ended. The guy his knee is in bounds. The game should have been over. Then they let him go ahead and score, which they did. I guess that was probably the right call. And then on top of it, missing the extra point. It was just unbelievable. And they're talking about Brian Kelly is struggling communicating with the LSU players. You could kind of see that last night. And he's been working on his accent. But I told you that was going to be a problem. And this is actually a little video of him working on his accent.
We live a pie on our day. We live a pie on our day. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, it appears he's getting there. He's working on it. You got to give him credit for that. So maybe over time he'll be able to communicate with them better. All right, folks, just wanted to cover a few things today. Talk about the weekend and then this knucklehead Beamer. Give me a break. He looks good with that mayo on top of his head. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Only been doing this a couple of months. I could use some subscribers. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.